Hello, today we're going to have a look at more binary, and we're going to start with a bit of a recap on last lesson where I was mega impressed because you guys turned binary numbers into decimal numbers. So you were acting like a computer and you started to read binary for the first time, which was pretty cool. So let's do a little bit of recap on that just to refresh our memories because we're going to need that skill again today. So here we've got a byte of binary. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bits, ones or zeros, and that's a byte. And we're going to label the columns. So we start on the right hand column, and the first column is the ones column, so we're going to put 1 above that. The next column doubles each time, so 1 becomes 2, 2 will become not 3 but 4 because it doubles, like so. And we've got a double 4, which is 8. Then we've got 16, then 32 because that's double 16, then 64, and finally we have 128. So we have labelled all of our columns. Okay, now what we need to do is look at which columns have got a 1 in them and which have got a 0 in them, because if they've got a 0 in them, we are going to ignore those ones. So we've got zeros in our 4, our 8, our 64, and our 128. So the ones we're actually going to look at are the 1 column, the 2's column, the 16's column, and the 32's column. Okay, then all we do to turn this into a decimal number is add our columns that we've circled here, our red columns, the columns with a 1 in, together. So we're going to add the values of those columns. So we're going to add 1 and 2, 16 and 32. So because I've got a few numbers here, I'm going to use a bit of a column addition, like so. And I'm going to do it in steps of 2. So I've got 32 add 16. And so that is going to be, so 2 and 6 is 8. And 3 and 1 is 4. So 48 so far. Then I've got to add 2 and 1. Well, I can add 2 and 1 together easily. It's 3. So I've got to add 3 more on. So I'm going to 48 add 3, which I should be able to do mentally. So 48 add 3 is 51. Okay, hopefully that was a really good recap and it's all come flooding back to you. So we're going to need that today. So today you are going to be looking at how binary is used to store letters, and you are going to convert binary into letters. So you are becoming even more like a computer today, which is great. So our LI is still looking at how computers use binary to store information. Okay, so again, we've got a byte of information here, but it breaks it down. So you've got your columns here, you've got 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16 on one side of the divide, and then you've got the other 3 columns here. So these columns in the blue box tell us which letter it is, and the columns in the red box tell us whether it's a capital letter or a lowercase letter. So I'm going to start off by focusing on which letter it is. And again, I'm just going to label up my columns. So I've got the 1 column, the 2 column, the 4 column, the 8 column, and the 16. Now I only need to do these first 5 columns. Okay. Now, same as if we were doing a number, we ignore all the ones with a 0 in. So we are only interested in the one with a 1 in, and we've only got one, which is 4. So this is the 4th letter of the alphabet. So we look here and we can go A, B, C, D. The 4th letter of the alphabet is D. So this is the letter D. We know that. But the first 3 digits are telling, these 3 digits here, so our other columns are telling us something about the letter as well. So if it is 010, it would be a capital letter. So this one's 011, and that means it's lowercase. So all those digits on the left are telling us whether it's capital or lowercase. 010 is capital, 011 is lowercase. This is doing all the work in terms of which letter it is. Let's have a look at another one. So here's what I've just done, and you can see using the same method as last week, this is the 4th letter, it's D. Okay. So here's another one to look at. Already got our columns labelled. So all we've got to do is ignore the ones that have got zeros in add the ones that have got a 1 in. So 4, 2, and 1. Well, that's 7. So the 7th letter of the alphabet is G, and it's got 011 as its left 3 numbers, so it is lowercase. So I know that 7th letter of the alphabet, lowercase g. There you go. Simple as that. So all you're doing really is the same as last week, where you found the number, but it's only for the first 5 columns, and then you find the letter that corresponds to, and then you figure out whether it's uppercase or lowercase. So here's a bit of a challenge. Let's do this one together. We've got a word. So we're going to try and crack this word together. So first one is the 4th letter, so that's D, and it is lowercase, because remember 011 is lowercase. So that one is D. Okay, then we're going to move on to our second letter. So let's move this with us to help us out. So we've got 8 and 1. So that's the 9th letter of the alphabet. So look at my 9th letter is I. Again, it's lowercase. So the second letter is I. Let's go again. And on to our next one. And so we've got 4, 2, and 1. We haven't got an 8, we haven't got a 16, they've got zeros in. So 7 is G. And again, it starts with 011 on the left. So it's a lowercase D-I-G. Okay, onto our 4th letter. Right, and here we've got an 8 and a 1, which we've done before. That's an I, and it's a lowercase. So let's put the lowercase I in. And our last letter, and you might be able to guess at this point because you might know what the word is. We've got 16 and 4 with a 1 under them. So we look at 16 add 4 is 20. So the 20th letter of the alphabet is T, and that spells digit. Okay, there it is. That's all there is to it. It's quite simply find the number from the first 5 digits, and then that's the letter, and then the other part of the byte tells us whether it's uppercase or lowercase. Brilliant. Let's let you guys have a go at one. So I'm going to pop this one on the board, and what I will do to help you out is I will copy this so you've got enough of these so that you can easily read the columns and see if you can find out what this word written in binary is. Okay, I'm going to disappear for a minute, and I will see you after you've had a go. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at that. Let's break it down together then, see if you are right. So our first one is actually the first capital that we've seen because it's got 010 on the left. So that might have caught a few of you out. And it's the 8th letter of the alphabet, so it is H. So it's a capital H. Okay, now all the rest of them are 011 on the left, so they're all lowercase. Okay, and we've got 4 and 1, which is 5, which is E. We've got 8 and 4, which is 12, which is L. We've got 8 and 4 again, which is 12, and is L again. And I'm going to guess that this one is going to be the 15th letter of the alphabet. Let's see. We've got 8 and 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14, plus 1 is 15. It is indeed, and that is hello. Right, hello viewers. So let's move on to the success criteria. So here's what you've got to do today. Identify upper and lowercase letters. So you're looking at that left hand side, the first digits on the left. Tell us whether it's uppercase or lowercase. If it's 010, it's a capital, it's uppercase. If it's 011, it's lowercase. Okay, the silver is to understand how to decode binary into letters. So taking that first 5 on the right, putting the columns, finding the number, and then converting that into a letter. That's what your silver is. The gold is to decode binary into punctuation. Now, punctuation is a bit different because it starts with 0010. And you can see here on the right, we've got some of our codes for binary. So if you see these are not letters, these are punctuation marks. And you'll see they all start with 0010. And then they have 4 digits that tell the computer what kind of punctuation you're looking at. And the challenge is to understand how to decode binary into digits and write your own message in binary in a Word document. Okay, so digits are not numbers. If they want to write a digit in a document, we need to look for that digit. So it starts with 0011, and then the rest of the binary is used to code for the number. And then if you're writing your own message, you're going to be doing letters, punctuation, and you might even have some digits in there as well. That's all for today. I'll see you soon.